So we are now back with the second half of this draft. For anyone that hasn't listened to or hasn't watched the first half, do me a favor. Pause right now. Go check the link in the show notes to this. Check the first half of the draft. We got through our first 3 rounds. Come back to this one when you're done. We are now into the back half of the draft, our final 4 picks each. And I am up first with my 4th round selection. So I've just come off picking Unforgiven in Best Picture, and I am up again. I'm debating if I don't know. I'm debating if I go with the wild card or if I go with the safe play. I think I'm going to go with the safe play here. This isn't necessarily my favorite directing performance, but I do know that the voters out there have a lot of love and admiration for this director. And so I am going to take, because I don't want to have the Spielberg battle of it all, so I'm not going to take Spielberg and Schindler, even though he's my number 1. I'm going to go with James Cameron and Titanic
I knew it.
for director.
Same.
I mean, that movie was such a cultural touch point in the 90s. Cameron just can do no wrong at the box office since that moment. Everything he has cranked out post-Titanic just goes on to make $1 billion plus at the box office. He's the most bankable director out there, probably. Maybe Chris Nolan, but I would say James Cameron's got the track record for the most bankable director in Hollywood today. Titanic's one of those movies where even somebody who doesn't think they love epics and doesn't think they love a movie about a love story at the center, I think can still come to that film and walk away being taken by the moment, the history of it all, the spectacle of it all. It's just a landmark directorial achievement. And so James Cameron Titanic is getting my pick in director.
Interesting that you didn't swap it and do the other way around, Eastwood and Titanic.
I thought about it. Yeah. But I think the directorial achievement of Titanic is greater than the directorial achievement of Unforgiven, and I prefer Unforgiven as a film.
Makes
so
sense.
that was why I decided that direction.
And that's an interesting distinction that you just made. And as you said, James Cameron, Titanic, my brain exploded because I realized that so many of the things that I just had planned, and I guess this is the fun of a draft, have again just blown up in my face. And I know I'm picking next, and I know I know. Like they say film karma, it comes to get you. So I have decided in that moment of absolute panic that I now side with chaos.
Oh, here we go.
Finally, some chaos.
Chaos is now upon us. And I'm going to be the first person on this draft with the courage to go to the wild card.
Ooh. I think I know what you're going to do.
I have an idea.
Nice.
I think you both think you know what I'm going to do.
Well, it depends if you're trying to sabotage somebody particular.
I'm not trying to sabotage anyone. I'm trying to build a team that I think is best representative of the 90s, and one that I will be very proud to get tattooed across my chest as soon as this episode is over. So I just want to say this up front, that there are very few songs that change the landscape of the planet. Very few. And in the late 90s, when Celine Dion sang My Heart Will Go On, she didn't just touch the world of film. Oh, no. She changed the world. And so I just want to read, if I can, a couple of pieces of information that maybe people have forgotten about this song from the film Titanic. My Heart Will Go On was composed by James Horner. The lyrics were written by Will Jennings. Obviously, the masterful Celine with her vocal performance. It was the winner of an Oscar. It was the winner of 4 Grammys, including Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Best Female Pop Vocal Performance, Best Song Written for Film. That's 4. It also was added to the National Recording Registry in 2025. It was named the Song of the Century. It was given a Golden Globe, a Billboard Music Award. For those of you listening on Spotify right now, it has been streamed 659 million times on Spotify. And this is what's even crazier. See, Klarissa, back in the 90s, people had to go to a store and they would have to buy what was called a CD single. The
You know what it is?
No, I know. I'm helping you.
Even buy vinyl singles in the 80s.
Indeed. And look, I was alive then
Yep.
too.
Yeah.
I used to have cassette tapes. But that CD single for My Heart Will Go On sold 18 million units just of the single. Now you say, well, 18 million. So let's do a little bit of RevAlmanac math here. Klarissa, you are in the beautiful state of Utah.
Mhm.
Andrew, you're in the state of Missouri. Heather, you hail from Scotland. And I live in the Chicagoland area. So if you took the population of the city of Chicago, the entire country of Scotland, the entire state of Missouri, and the entire state of Utah, and you totaled them up, My Heart Will Go On sold more units than all of that combined.
Wow.
So this is an absolute no-brainer. Shout out French Canadians. Shout out our friends to the north in Canada. I absolutely love this song. I am unapologetic about it. My Wildcard choice, My Heart Will Go On, Titanic. Book it. That's what courage looks like, my
Love
friends.
it.
There's nothing Adam fears.
No.
I'll draft a goat.
Probably
I've done
2
it.
million of
He
those
should be
streamings
fearing
are
me.
I love this
Like,
song.
if I ever come to Chicago, Adam, twice now, right?
Putting you two ending up in the middle of this draft was perfect.
Oh my God.
So great.
I'm going on about I have 8
Look.
options. I'm super chill. But actually, number one wild card was
Mhm.
My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion. And
Yeah. It was number one and it wasn't even close. It was, I mean, there was like a number 2 and a 3 and 4. It wasn't even
it
close.
was number one
This
after
had to
I
be it for
realized
me.
that Bryan Adams didn't win for for Robin Hood.
I love it. I love it. That's the Chicago way.
Wow.
Freedom.
Do you stick with wild card though, Heather, or do you go? Where do you go now from
I
here?
don't know.
See? Now
I'm
her
broken.
brain has
Throw a dart.
exploded.
I am
Go with
broken
chaos.
now.
It worked
So
for me.
taken
Yeah.
aback.
Well, I will go on. My heart won't, but I will. Right. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I wasn't going to do wild card for a while anyway, so I'll come to terms with this. Right. Okay. Well, you've just monumentally pissed me off. Fine. Right. Okay. What am I doing? What have I got left? Everything apart. What have I got left? Where shall I go? What shall I do? Done actress. I haven't done actor. I haven't done actor, and I'm going to do actor now.
Don't you take my pick.
And I am going to go with a popularity contest, and I'm going to go with a man that everybody loves, America loves. He is a national.
Mel Gibson.
He did not win Best Actor. I unfortunately have shot myself in the foot and cannot draft him in director or in film. No, of course, a very problematic Australian as a Scottish national hero. I mean, what more could I want? Of course, but no, I am going to go with the international treasure, the who used to drive my sister-in-law to school. Randomly putting this in there. I am going to go with Mr. Tom Hanks.
No.
Oh. And you have no right to complain. Also, you have actor, so go away. But what do I take? What do I take?
No, I was knowing Tom Hanks drove your sister to school?
No, sister-in-law.
What? Now you have to tell that story.
Expand.
Yeah.
Oh, right. So my sister-in-law, she grew up in near Los Angeles, and they had a car share with the Hanks children. So Tom and mainly Rita, to be fair, occasionally drove her to school, and they occasionally drove the Hanks kids to school. There you go. That's it.
That
Wow.
is like, talk
That's
about
it.
burying the lead. That's amazing. Carpooling
Oh,
with
but
Gump.
But her dad once
Yeah.
produced the Oscars as well. So, I'm just throwing this out there. I feel I've mentioned this before. Andrew, you
So
know
she's
this.
just like cool.
Yeah.
She's just cool.
But which Hanks performance do you take now is the question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I am actually. I think I'm going to go with. No, I am. I'm going to go with Forrest Gump, which is not the most beloved performance, and it's not the most beloved film. But I think from what Tom Hanks has also said about, if he would be playing that role in Philadelphia again, he wouldn't be playing it today, is what he said. And he doesn't regret doing it, but he does say this, he was not, he shouldn't really be playing that. There's plenty of people who can better represent that demographic, as in the actual people, than he. Of course, it was the 90s, so they drafted. God, I'm in the lingo here. So they cast, Tom Hanks and everything. But I am going to go with Forrest Gump. I think it is a beloved performance, whatever you think about the film. I think he carries that film on his back pretty much for the whole runtime. And yeah, I mean, I had Anthony Hopkins up here miles away, number one, was pretty sure I wouldn't get him. So I did have Tom Hanks and Forrest Gump as number 2. So I am pleased to still have been able to draft Tom Hanks.
That's one of those that you can't go wrong when it comes to voting.
And it's just
Tom
so
Hanks
popular.
Is just
and when
like,
I was,
he's apple pie.
And when I was quizzing a few people, just, normies or just other people who have a vague interest in film, and I said to them, I said, well, what do you think of the 90s? What do you think of? And people, what was your favorite film or what was your favorite performance? And so many said Forrest Gump and so many said Tom Hanks. And he was the actor of the 90s. If you just look at his run from the 90s, and we're talking about, Spacey had some great films. But if you look at what Tom Hanks was doing, really from the 80s through the 90s, he was the actor pretty much that defined the 90s. And he was getting awarded almost Meryl Streep-like for everything that he was doing. But I would argue there was nothing there that you're just like, oh, it's Tom Hanks, where he's in a film, we're going to tick him off, unlike Meryl, to be fair. So, the fact that he's back-to-back Oscars, not many people have done it. Yeah. And, Tom Hanks.
This is why I said when we were playing chicken, since we were the only two left in Best Actor, I was going to take Gump if it was still on the board when I eventually got to that, because I just think it's like the safe pick for people that love movies in the 90s. Yeah, good pick. All right, Clarissa's up for the double now. So she's got picture, she's got actor, she's got actress. So you still got a lot of choices there with director, supporting, wild card. So give us your 2 picks.
Okay. I was a little tied. I'm going to do my best director. And I was a little tied on this one because one of these is almost like a really nostalgic film for me. But I am going to choose like the clearly more ambitious film, which is Schindler's List. I'm going to choose Steven Spielberg for Schindler's List.
Yep.
But my nostalgic film was Dances with Wolves. I really love Dances with Wolves. So in my heart and soul, shout out to Dances with Wolves. But film-wise, wow. Yeah, Schindler's List takes the cake. It is so great. I mean, what else can we say about it? It's beautiful. It's beautiful and timeless. And also, I mean, I know we don't have score on here, and I'm not going to choose score for my wild card. But, but I do really love all of this movie, and that he chose John Williams with the score and that partnership that they had in coming up with that. So really beautiful. But I'm going to do my wild card.
Ooh. So now you're taking another bite out of the wild card apple here.
I am. And it's because when I was going through and looking at all of these main category wins, I was actually pretty surprised to not see this movie in at least one bigger category. And I was like, it needs to be on my list, no matter what. So I'm actually going to do Best Visual Effects for Jurassic Park.
Yes, great. Yeah. That was my second pick.
So good. So good. How is this? How did this not get more love in the big categories? I mean, I understand we have so much going on here, right? But this is such an amazing movie. It is a favorite of mine. It's iconic. It's timeless. It always blows me away. I've seen this movie in 3D multiple times. Every time it's back in theaters, I go and see it. But I love it. So I think too, those visual effects are still astounding, but especially for the time and all of that new technology, this blew it out of the water and set such a precedent for visual effects. So, love Jurassic Park.
Clarissa, it's an amazing choice. I was there in the theater on opening night of Jurassic Park as a 12-year-old boy. And I think the nearest comparison we can make to what we saw in Jurassic Park was when Dorothy leaves that kind of sepia-toned doorway and walks into Oz for the first time. And everyone in the theater looked around and said, oh, it's just different now. Now it's different. 1993, what ILM did for Jurassic Park is they changed the entire landscape of film forever. Because we are still today the beneficiaries of the work and the research that they put into that movie. So the fact that you picked it, I think, is a great sign about the things that you're noticing. But what's also amazing is that your last pick, Steven Spielberg for Schindler's List, that dude released those movies the same year.
What a guy.
How? Oh my gosh.
People love to throw the term GOAT around and have like GOAT debates and conversations. Steven Spielberg erased everything else that he had done in the 70s and in the 80s, which was Hall of Fame on its own. He released two of the best movies and most important groundbreaking films ever made in a 6-month span in Schindler's List for Jurassic Park.
You just shifted the entire weight of this draft with those two picks, because stacking Schindler on top of Jurassic is going to be a mountain to overcome for all of us. Because I guarantee you, if you don't take Spielberg and Schindler with Adam still having director, that was probably going to get snatched up at the end there. So
that was my pick.
I realized that director, we've got somebody who I think probably all of us had fairly near the top. He's not going to be drafted. Mr. Demme.
Demme, yes.
He can't be drafted because it's only Adam left. And Adam already has Silence of the Lambs.
And I have really good news. I didn't even have him in my top 4. He was my 5th pick as director. So
good for you.
The way that things have sifted out, I'm still going to get one of my favorite picks as director and picture. So now I can just kind of sit back and Heather, I can't wait to see what you pick and see what happens next. Now that I have Anthony Hopkins, Frances McDormand, now that I have My Heart Will Go On, I can be patient, Heather. Your choice.
Driving it in. Just sticking the needle in.
What? Yeah, it's just us two, really, Adam, isn't it? And it's actually just you. Because the rest of us are really harmonious here, you know?
It's just me.
It's just you. You are bringing this toxic energy, and I just don't know what to do with that.
I don't know. At least I didn't draft Kevin Spacey.
Oh, well. See, now, talking of my next pick.
But I wasn't toxic about it. No. Like, I like him because he's a weenie.
Right. What am I doing? It's...
Let's do this, Heather. I can't wait.
You got supporting, and Wildcard. So
supporting, and Wildcard.
Interesting choices.
Only one person has done supporting actress. That's fun. Right. There's a number of options there, and I think I'm just gonna. Yeah, I can't decide. I mean, that's my thing. So I'm just going to let somebody else to make the decision for me and not go with supporting actress. I can't decide what my strategy there is. To me, that with supporting actress there is somebody who I think would do very well on an online vote, very popular actress, I would say, or a popular person. People enjoy this performance. But I have this person at 5 in my ranking, so that would be really wild if I did draft her. So it would be so I'm going to think about it for a while. Right, what shall I do? Right, okay, I'm doing supporting actor and I'm not doing Kevin Spacey because I'm going to prepare my whole little speech that I prepared. Okay, so we have established I'm from Scotland. When Scotland ever qualify for tournaments, which we never do, generally, but we do like to kind of say who we beat in the qualifiers. And therefore, we then tend to say, but we lost to the eventual winner. So therefore, we're actually the best. In the qualifying, we beat the eventual winners. So therefore, we're actually the best. Like in the qualifiers recently, we beat Spain. Spain ended up winning. So I am
a transitive property of sports.
Yes. So this is the Scottish mentality. Like, well, actually, if we'd only qualified, we could have won the whole thing because we beat Spain in the qualifiers. So with that said, I believe that the best supporting actor performance in the entire 90s was Ralph Fiennes. And he lost to Tommy Lee Jones. but Ray Fiennes better. So therefore, Tommy Lee Jones might actually possibly be better. I mean, I can't believe it and I refuse to accept it. But if he beat the best performance in the 90s, well, that's got to say something, right? So I shall be, as much as I begrudge this man his Oscar, as much as I love Tommy Lee Jones, but he should not have won this year, I am going to be drafting, and it is also my most well-used GIF, I don't care. Because I don't care. And I shall be drafting Tommy Lee Jones in supporting actor. Yes, and he was top of my list.
I love it.
Number one pick.
Love it.
I love it.
Amazing.
Because to me, that's like drafting Ray Fiennes. And I couldn't have drafted Ray Fiennes anyway, because obviously I picked Schindler's List. So there we go.
You get Jones and everyone he beat on the way to that trophy. And
I was going to say that
and he's great
that
in
is
The Fugitive.
Also the nomination. I mean, he is, but we also had Leonardo DiCaprio and What's Eating Gilbert Grape in that same nomination.
Iconic,
which is just
that just says so much about the strength of this pick.
There's a lot.
You know, look how great Tommy Lee Jones is.
You're pulling everything from that year in that category into the pick. I like the
he
trying to sway the audience
so many
here.
other
They're not going to fall for it.
Yeah. He is on the shoulders. He is standing in the shoulder. Who said that in there? I was like Timmy Chalamet. I'm standing in the shoulders of, all these people.
Of giants.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And Heather, I think your choice also had just an amazing way of honoring me, that being a Chicago film in The Fugitive. So
it's all for
I
you,
appreciate,
Adam.
Despite everything that I may or may have not done to you on this draft, I really appreciate you still demonstrating your friendship. And in addition, I accept the gift you've just given me of it now being my pick again. So I'm very excited. I can't believe that this pick and this performance has fallen to me all the way, my 5th pick overall, but the 19th pick. And I'm going to return to Best Supporting Actress. Now, I thought that I was going to get to this category earlier, but as soon as Andrew grabbed Marissa Tomei, I was like, well, I got to put this on the back burner. And it was like the first time I had to pivot, I had to audible. But I'm returning to Best Supporting Actress for a film that I love with my entire heart. It's a movie that changed the way that I viewed life, death, and the afterlife. And it's a movie that allowed me to realize that Patrick Swayze had a ton to offer outside of dancing, running, and gunning, right? Yeah. And of course, the film I'm referring to is Ghost, and the Academy Award-winning performance is that of Whoopi Goldberg.
And that is who I was talking about.
That's and you might have had her a little bit further down. I had her at number 2 on my supporting actress list because of what she means to me. I think what she still means to the entertainment industry today. But that role in that film, she had to, kind of like Frances McDormand in Fargo, she had to bring the light. She had to bring that puff of comedic energy, because as much as I love Demi Moore and as much as I love Patrick Swayze, rest in peace, those are not funny people. And that movie needed funny. It needed just a little bit of that because it was so self-serious. So for me, it's Whoopi Goldberg. It's Ghost. I'm very proud to get that so late in the draft. So very happy. And I'm also very happy to now turn this thing back over to Andrew, who's going to get 2 picks in a row.
Yeah. So Whoopi was who I was.
She was my number 1 supporting. No, I was just going to agree. She was my number 1. I love it. But yeah, Heather,
I was going to say she was the person I was talking about. I think we'll get everybody voting for her. She is so beloved, like you said. And that was where I was like, do I draft her? Although I had her quite low down, my personal ranking, and just go for the votes. But and that's why I needed somebody to draft her so that I did not have to make that choice. So I'm not even mad at you, Adam. I'm not even mad at you.
Thank you. I love you, Heather. Thank you.
I'm looking at Klarissa and Heather not having supporting actress, and to build on Whoopi Goldberg, I'll just say, girls, you in danger. So I'm gonna I'm gonna go with my wild card next, because again, I feel I'm okay in actor and actress since I've got the scraps basically there. So in wild card, I thought for sure, Adam, you were going to steal this wild card. It was number 1 with a bullet for me. There was never a doubt what I was going to hopefully get in the wild card pick. 1994, original screenplay, Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Pulp Fiction,
Yeah.
I think, is the single most important script of the 90s. The writing in that film changed the cinematic language. It's still being affected today, what happened with Pulp Fiction, and the way Tarantino used all of the influence of the past to create something totally new, fresh, unique. The dialogue, the way that movie cuts scene to scene, it's non-linear. Everything about Pulp Fiction and writing and what people thought they could do. I can't imagine being a screenwriter in 1994 and then Tarantino drops Pulp Fiction and you're like, well, what do I do now? Because like just normal storytelling apparently isn't good enough because Pulp Fiction is just a seismic shift in the landscape. So I had to get original screenplay Pulp Fiction. And like I said, I thought Adam was going to take it because I know he has a great affinity for that movie.
It was, I think I went with more of a populist pick when I chose My Heart Will Go On. But one of the things that, Andrew and I talked about way back, I think it might have been July when we started kicking around the idea of doing a decades draft, which we wanted to do something different and we wanted to do something fun. And he's like, well, what decade should we start with? And the reason why the 90s became a no-brainer for us is imagine going to a movie theater, even if you could only go for like over an 18-month span. And in those 18 months, you got Schindler's List, you got Jurassic Park, you got Pulp Fiction, you got Forrest Gump, you got Shawshank Redemption. That was all released within like an 18-month period. And I've just left out 15 titles that are like Hall of Fame movies. It was different in the 90s. And I'm very rarely excited about being the age that I am. But the fact that I can live and survive on the nostalgia of being a teen during those times and getting to experience it and going to school and saying, hey, did you guys see this movie Pulp Fiction? Have you heard of this? Whereas now it's just such a canonical part of our conversational language. Andrew, that's a great pick. And it hurts me a little bit to see it go, but I know that it's going to a loving home. And so
Indeed it is.
And so I'm happy for it and for you.
Check out the big brain on Andrew over here.
Say what again?
All right, so
this is one that I haven't seen.
Oh my goodness,
Clarissa.
You know what?
She revealed this to me last week. I was like, whoa.
I envy you, Clarissa, because I was just doing a podcast the other day where I was saying I wish I could like wipe my brain of seeing all the movies I've seen to see things again with fresh eyes, because it's going to like expand your mind once you see it. I cannot wait to talk about it with you eventually when you get to it.
You might not like it.
Well, I've felt that energy from that. I've like felt that. I know it's like so important and it's such a big deal. And I've even heard this about the writing before. And so I'm really excited to dive into it. But I was like, this is a movie that I can't watch while I'm in school and working, because a lot of movies that I watch right now, I watch while I'm on the clock and I'm doing work, but it's like, I just want to sit and watch that one. And I have a few, but I'm like, the second I'm not in school and I'm available to mentally do that, that's when I will commit to movies like that.
Andrew,
it will come.
You mentioned the desire to like wipe your brain clean and like rewatch movies, for the first time. The closest thing that we can get to doing that is showing movies to our kids, because when they see them and experience them for the first time, we do get to see them again, just through a different set of eyes and from a different perspective. And my son at 11 has now reached 1992 in my lifespan. So it's 1992 for him, and when he and I would have been the same age. And so I think about the things that have influenced me. And it's special. It's special. And it's one of those bonds that I know that will continue to grow us closer together. But it's a form of education that I think more parents need to take seriously. And that's visual literacy, because this is a medium and this is an art form that doesn't last forever unless we pass the torch. And which is why I think, Clarissa, what you're doing with your pod is so enviable, that you are openly admitting, I haven't seen it, but I get to see it for the first time. And I just respect the heck out of that, because so many people, I think, jump on pods and pretend they know everything. And the fact that you're like, I haven't seen Pulp Fiction, I am so excited to listen to that episode now, because I want to see it for the first time through your eyes. So I appreciate what you're doing.
Awesome.
That's what makes Clarissa's show so cool. And just like anytime I follow you and I check out your story, and because you're always like posting like, oh, I'm watching this now, what do you think of it? And you always are catching something new where I'm like, oh my God, you're watching The Thing for the first time or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, please let me know the second you're done with this so we can unpack this together, because I want to get your immediate thoughts, because that's just an experience that a lot of people don't get to have with some of these classics.
Well, and I think I found the right crowd too to be doing that with, because then I get to have those conversations immediately after. I was really struggling on this journey when I first started, because there were a lot of people in my life who were just like casual movie watchers. And I was like, I watched Braveheart and Top Gun and American Psycho in the same day, and I need to talk to someone, and none of you know what I'm talking about. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll make an Instagram. And that's what happened. And I found Andrew off the bat, and I was like, people talk to me about this because I need to unpack my feelings. But yeah, there are so many feelings and so many things to experience for the first time, which is just so fun. But I will keep you guys posted on Pulp Fiction. It's going to be great.
Awesome.
Can't wait.
All right, so I'm on the snake turn for the final time for my final snake turn. I've got the two lead acting spots to take. I'm gonna go. This is tricky. I'm gonna go best actor here. I've sort of built an interesting team: Unforgiven, James Cameron, Pesci, Tomei, Pulp Fiction. Let's go with a really, I think, it's a heartwarming, crowd-pleasing performance in a movie that is incredibly dour and painful, but what the man does on the screen is so joyous, and being a parent, I can never imagine myself in the shoes of this man. And it is Roberto Benigni for the film Life is Beautiful, about a man who's in a concentration camp and just trying to survive with his child. And it's one of the most heartbreaking films I think I have ever seen. I cannot find myself wanting to go back to it very often, but Roberto Benigni has this tremendous charm, and he's got this kind of Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin ability to have a physical comedy, which is so rare, that he can evoke such emotion and also such joy in such an excruciatingly painful movie. So I'm going to go with Roberto Benigni and Life is Beautiful, a film not a lot of people, I think, find themselves going to or seeing for the first time, because it's a foreign language film, and I just don't feel like it's sort of talked about as often as other movies. But if you haven't seen Roberto Benigni's Life is Beautiful, check it out. He also directed it. Just a phenomenal achievement to do the directing and what he gives on the performance.
And one of the all-time great Oscar moments where he climbed over the chairs with excitement. And I think the instant reaction in America was, oh my God, he just beat Tom Hanks.
Right.
And I think that there were some sour grapes about that. I do think there was the Hanks fatigue. He had won back-to-back earlier in the decade. And did he deserve it? Of course. But what Benigni did is I think he showed an international audience the youthful exuberance of someone who was making films with his heart. And that passion came through on Oscar night. And I think that's one of the great upset stories in Oscar history. But it's one that I'm happy that it happened. And so I appreciate you making that.
And one of the all-time great announcements was Sophia Loren going, and the Oscar goes to, and then she just like, her full face lights up, and then she waves the card, and she goes, Roberto! And it's lovely.
Yes.
Oh, one of these, you just see it and hear it right now. You're just reliving it. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
It was the closest feeling I would imagine to an Italian World Cup victory, as Loren announces for Benigni, and everybody just erupts. And it had to be a huge moment. Had to be. Now, unless I'm screwing this thing up, I think I'm picking at 22.
Yep, and you've got director and picture. You got the big boys sitting there.
I know, and I believe everybody else has already chosen in those categories, and so I just kind of went down to the old river and I just sifted through, and I find these chunks of gold just waiting there for me. Now 22 is a lucky number for me. It was my football number a long time ago. It is also very famously the number that pops up on the roulette wheel in Casablanca. And Rick Blaine said, have you tried 22 tonight? So I'm going to try 22 tonight. And at 22, I can't decide. Do I want to go picture? Do I want to go director? I'm going to go director. I guess it's all going to end up being the same at this point. And I cannot believe that we went this far. And I've already talked a little bit about it. I'm taking Clint Eastwood, Unforgiven. Arguably his greatest work from behind the camera he's ever done. The film is beautiful to look at. It is thematically relevant. I've already mentioned that Unforgiven is a movie that will continue to age better year after year and decade after decade. His command of unbelievable leading men, including himself in the movie, about a story about a guy who just doesn't have it anymore. And a man who has worked so hard to walk away from the darkness that once enveloped his life, only to find that maybe that's impossible. And it's an amazingly Hollywood story, considering, it's a revisionist Western. So very proud, very excited that I'm getting Clint Eastwood for Unforgiven.
I have no notes. It was like I said, it was my best picture choice. Can't complain. One day, Heather, you'll get around to it.
Yeah.
Or not.
Well, we mentioned all the great men in this film, and maybe when Freeman goes, maybe that's my time to watch it. Be as a completionist.
20 years from now.
And he'll still look the same.
He's one of those age like a fine wine guys.
Yeah. Yep. I always appreciate Morgan Freeman.
So Heather's got supporting actor and Wildcard here. So you can go a couple different directions.
I'm just going to leave Wildcard. And I'm going to go with, and my number one still on my ballot for supporting actress. I'm very excited. Well, I'm not excited because I'm not generally excited about this category at all this decade. But this is who I have at number one. There are many, many great child performances. But I would argue that what Anna Paquin does in The Piano is got to be up there with the very best of the best. And she is fabulous in her communication with her mom, expressing her anger towards the atrocious men in this film. And to return to what we were talking about, just the pure joy and surprise of her winning and going up to the stage, and they had to change the microphone, and she just stands there almost, like representing the film in a way, mute for just a few minutes, just looking around. And my best supporting actress that I will be drafting very happily is Anna Paquin for The Piano.
Excellent choice.
Terrific pick. She was my number 3. All my heavy hitters are getting taken off the board.
Yeah,
all right.
She was also my number 3 for that same performance. Love it.
Now, Klarissa, you have the very important task here of doing the double and rounding out your draft team. So right now you've got Silence of the Lambs, Spielberg for Schindler, Spacey for Beauty, Kathy Bates for Misery, Jurassic Park for visual effects. So you got the 2 supporting acting spots to finish your team off.
I am so happy with my draft. and it's the fact that I can say too, I know it because I have it, because I have 2 turns. So I'm really comfy with it. I'm going to do my second to last pick as supporting actress. And I am really happy that she's still on the board, but I'm choosing Angelina Jolie, Girl Interrupted. This performance is so beautiful. I work in treatment with teen girls. That's my job. I've been there for 6 years. And so I watch this movie and I don't want to get too teary or emotional about it, but I see the kids that I work with and I see the things that they go through and I see the things that they've been through. And I see so much of that in her performance. It's so emotional. It's so tender at the same time. It speaks so true to some of the things that happen in treatment, some of the things that they go through. And of course, we work tirelessly as people in those facilities to give them a good, comfortable life as they're dealing with those things that they have to unpack, sadly, at such a young age. But I feel like I see so much of the resilience and things in this whole movie. But Angelina Jolie, she just does such an amazing job. It's a hard thing to encapsulate, and she does it so beautifully. And so I love her performance. I love her performance in that. So that is my best supporting actress pick. And then I'm going to go over to what do I have left? Oh my gosh. I have Best Supporting Actor. That's my last one. And I think this is one that I didn't even know received a win, but I cannot even tell you how excited I am that I saw this on there. But I am doing Martin Landau, Ed Wood.
Wow.
I
Superb.
love him in this movie. He is so fantastic as Bela Lugosi, and I love Ed Wood across the board, but the first time I watched it, I just cried. I mean, unlike Heather, I cry constantly. I cry all the time. I cry in
So do
every
I.
movie.
It's fine.
It's like
it's
I'm
fine.
constantly
I have no
crying.
heart. Good.
Wait until you see Hamnet this year. When Hamnet comes your way, go see it in the theater. It is the most therapeutic, emotionally gutting
ultimate test
and building experience simultaneously.
This is the test
I've
for
ever
how
had.
hard my heart actually
Wow.
is. Seeing Hamnet. Does it break me?
It's like we need one of those
man.
Grinch X-rays to see the size of your heart. Oh my
we
goodness.
need a
Just
a
can't wait.
score
I'm
of
excited to
like,
see it.
how did it break Heather or did it not? Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's gonna break everyone.
Well, honestly, I'm looking forward to it. I will bring tissues. I mean, I cry in a Hallmark. I'll be so honest about that. And I do love Hallmark. I just, anything that's tender, I'm like, oh my gosh. But his performance in this movie, it's just so emotional. And especially because I grew up loving Bela Lugosi in But Abbott and Lou Costello Meet Frankenstein. And then in later years, I watched all of the Universal Monster movies. I've just loved him. And I didn't know how much went into his life towards the end there. And I think it's such a sweet story to tell. And I'm really happy that Martin Landau is the one that told it. So
The great
yeah.
disservice of Ed Wood is that it's not more readily available. It is a kind of a hard movie to find. I own a copy,
It is.
thankfully,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's like Tim Burton's great masterpiece that nobody really like talks about or thinks about. He's got just a wide breadth of movies, and nobody really focuses on Ed Wood, which is remarkable.
And I
And again, not to repeat myself, but look at the year it came out. Like, of course it got buried.
And
Right.
I was going to say that I think his performance is another one of these performances that people like to get annoyed about winning because of what it beats. And
Sam Jackson,
it's just really sad that that's the case. And there's many of them out there. And this is one where it's like people cannot get over themselves because he beat Samuel L. Jackson and, which is
all right.
unfortunate.
Well,
and that's kind of the point of RevAlmanac is to like revisit and like relitigate. But the point of this draft is to celebrate what did win. And I think your choice of Martin Landau is an excellent example of, no, we're here to celebrate what actually did take home the state. Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
He took on Bela Lugosi.
Right.
He took that on. Whoa.
Yeah, but you've got the people who don't care about that. They've never seen this film, so they haven't seen the film.
Right.
They've seen Pulp Fiction.
Well, go watch it. Go watch it. Stinkers.
All right, Clarissa's team is set in stone over here, and now it's Heather. You have you've saved the wild card till the very last thing. Probably not the worst idea. We're going to find out what's number 2 for you.
My glasses down to the bottom of my nose.
Consider myself scolded.
Indeed.
What's your second favorite wild card? Is the question?
All right, so I've got a couple of options here, and part of me is like, do I go for the popularity pick, and do I go for a film that I've never seen and is top of the films that Heather's never seen, but the whole world has? I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to draft something I haven't seen. There we go. So I am not choosing The Lion King. But although I think that could easily, I've come in there and I could have won, really, got some points for The Lion King. But I'm sticking to my rule, which was I'm not going to draft anything I haven't seen. I could go with Beauty and the Beast, another one that I think would do very, very well. If you look at the recent...
It's a tale as old as time.
Indeed, yes. It recently did very well on your episode with... who was on that one? Scott and Liz. Yes. Yep. But I am finishing my draft as I started it with something that I needed to have in my draft because of the importance of this film to me. Unfortunately, certain people drafted this film in the category of actress. But this
Got to get it on the board.
I've got to have this film in my team, and therefore I shall be drafting the magnificent screenplay of Fargo.
I like this pick.
Yeah, you like the actress as well, didn't you, Adam?
Sure did. I like the directors as well, but I don't see them
winning.
No, I sure don't.
Hey, what won that year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with a Coen Brothers screenplay of
I
any.
think if I was wanting to say, I would probably should have gone for, Beauty and the Beast or Lion King. Very popular picks, very, very popular. But yeah, I need to have Fargo in there. It would not be my team if I did not have Fargo representation. It is in my Letterboxd top 4. It was very high in my Cinema Legacy poll, as was Schindler's. So I am very happy, even if I didn't get Francis, to have the screenplay in Wildcard.
I think you did okay.
I think I did fine.
That's a pick one for me right there for sure.
I'm very happy with my team.
All right. Adam saved the best for last with his best picture, so he's got some options.
I did, and I kind of always had the feeling I'd be choosing this toward the end. Now, if Adam, the 14-year-old, were choosing, I would be picking Braveheart, because as a 14-year-old, it was the most violent movie I had ever seen. It was the first real piece of European history I had seen depicted on film. And I absolutely loved everything about it. And of course, I loved Mel at the time, but I'm not 14 anymore. And given the rules of our draft, there are a few movies that I've kept away from myself, but I think my parents are going to be really excited. I think boomer culture in general is going to be elated. I think American history is going to be very proud to tell the somewhat fictional tale of Adam choosing Forrest Gump in Best Picture as the second to last choice in the draft. So somehow this fell to me. I'm very excited about that. Everything that needs to be said about Gump has been said. Yes, it kind of went through this backlash late in its career. It's a film that's always going to be around because Tom Hanks is always going to be important. And we've talked a lot about his performance. We haven't mentioned the name Robin Wright, and Robin Wright is outstanding in this movie. And so I'm very excited that I could get a movie like Forrest Gump with my 7th pick. And I'm pretty confident that when we go back at the end of the episode and we recap our 7 choices, I think my team is going to have something to say in the voting.
Your team is really good. And I am sitting here going, we didn't draft Demi and we didn't draft Titanic. It's because I realized once you sabotaged me on song and took that you couldn't then draft Titanic. So you were going to go Forrest Gump. Yeah.
I thought that the song had a greater global impact than the film. And that's saying a lot.
And much like Heather did in supporting actor, Adam, you can sort of claim all the 94 movies with your Forrest Gump pick there. You throw the Shawshank in, throw the Pulp Fiction in, throw them all in there.
I get everything, even Ed Wood.
All right,
Andrew. Hey, it's your show. It's your last pick,
man. All right, I got the last pick. I got Best Actress here. You took my top 3, so I everything else is just kind of it's in the middle. I'm not 100% sure what's the correct pick, but I'm going to go with my number 4. I do think it's a great win. It wasn't my particular choice when I covered this year earlier this season on the show. However, I do think it's a very important performance and a very important story to tell. And that is the film Boys Don't Cry and the magnetic performance that Hilary Swank gives in that film. I think that it is a story that as we get further along and progress more as society, I think that story resonates with more and more people. And I think that it was far ahead of its time. And what Hilary Swank does in the role is iconic. Hilary Swank, unfortunately, has become kind of a joke these days from The Office. And is she hot or is she not? Who cares? She's a damn good actress. And that's all that matters to me. Yeah. And so Hilary Swank, and you could pick other Hilary Swank performances that are great. Obviously, $1 Million Baby is another classic from her. But I think Boys Don't Cry is the defining work for her. It's my number It's my number 7 pick to round out my team. Hilary Swank, Boys Don't Cry.
It's not where I thought you'd go.
Nice.
I thought you were going to go Susan Sarandon, to be honest with you.
I thought you were going to go Emma Thompson.
Emma Thompson was on the border because I just recently revisited Howard's End, which is a really beautiful piece.
So
and Emma Thompson is vastly underrated. She just never gives a bad performance.
Speaking of someone else who had an amazing 90s.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
On multiple levels.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Guys, I can't believe we did it. We've all made our 7 choices. I think we've represented the decade well. I think it would be important for our listeners if we could just recap our own teams. And so maybe if we did that in draft order, if Klarissa, you wanted to start and just kind of top to bottom, give us your 7. And then, Heather would be up next, followed by me. And then Andrew would take us on home.
Totally. Let's do it. Okay. So for Best Picture, I drafted The Silence of the Lambs. For Best Director, I drafted Steven Spielberg for Schindler's List. Best Actor, I have Kevin Spacey. Woo. And then Best Actress, I have Kathy Bates, Misery. Supporting Actor, I have Martin Landau in Ed Wood. Supporting Actress, I have Angelina Jolie in Girl Interrupted. And for my wild card, I have Jurassic Park for visual effects.
Heck of a team.
Great team.
I'm proud of that team.
Heather, what do you got for us?
In Best Picture, I have Schindler's List. In Best Director, I have Steven Spielberg for Saving Private Ryan. In Actor, I have Tom Hanks for Forrest Gump. Best Actress, Jodie Foster for Silence of the Lambs. For Best Supporting Actor, standing for all the other great supporting actors that year, I have Tommy Lee Jones in The Fugitive. Best Supporting Actress, I have Anna Paquin for The Piano, and in original Wildcard, I have original screenplay Argo.
Sneaky good pick there, right there at the end for Heather. All right, here's my team top to bottom. The first pick that I made was in Best Actor. It was Anthony Hopkins, Silence of the Lambs, followed by Best Actress, Frances McDormand from Fargo. My third pick was Supporting Actor, Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting. Then I was the first one to crack open the wild card category, taking Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On from Titanic. My fifth pick was in Supporting Actress. Very excited to get Whoopi Goldberg from Ghost. I then followed that up with Best Director Clint Eastwood, who somehow fell to me at 6. And then my parents and everyone in the baby boomer generation, very excited that I ended up with Forrest Gump with my 7th pick in Best Picture.
All right, I'll take us home. So I will go top to bottom from picture down to wild card. So Best Picture, I have Unforgiven, Clint Eastwood's masterpiece. Best Director, I have James Cameron for Titanic. Best Actor, I have Roberto Benigni for Life is Beautiful. Best Actress, I have Hilary Swank for Boys Don't Cry. In Supporting Actress, I have Joe Pesci for Goodfellas, my favorite movie of all time. Supporting Actress, I have Marissa Tomei for My Cousin Vinny. And with the wild card, I got Pulp Fiction and Quentin Tarantino with his original screenplay win. All right, now you, the audience, you're going to have to sit here for a little bit and you're going to have to think about your choices because we will be putting up a poll with all of our teams revealed and you will have to decide who wins the vote. And I will also throw out a little surprise to Klarissa, Heather, Adam. If any of you, whoever wins, if it's not me, I have a little surprise gift basket coming your way in the mail. So a little extra juice if you want to try to sway some of the votes.
Surprise.
Oh, man.
I'll ship it all the way to Munich if I have to. So
are we going to start campaigning our draft?
Yeah, go for it. Get your signs ready. Start hitting the streets.
For 2016.
All right.
Love it.
All right, before we wrap up really quickly, we got a couple of minutes. Let me just turn it over to each of you. Thanks again for taking the time to do this, but let me give you the opportunity and the air to plug everything that you have going on in the world. Let me start with Klarissa up in the top left corner from my screen right now. Klarissa, what's on the way from the I've Seen It podcast? This will be coming out in January. So what do you have for like the start of the year? What's on the way?
Awesome. Yeah. So I'm continuing in my movie journal. I published a movie journal of 100 movies that I think every movie lover should see. Or if you want to go down like the rabbit hole of learning all the classics, just like I have, it's got a mix of Golden Age, horror, New Hollywood, everything in the 21st. So that we've got so far. So it's got a lot of variation there, but I'm just working through movie by movie. So when you watch it in the journal, I talk about it right after with the guest. So that's kind of what I'm doing. And then I really ambitiously wanted to do this last year, but I haven't. And so I'm hoping that this new year I can. I'm going to go down the rabbit hole of franchises that I haven't watched all of. So that means Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Terminator, Die Hard, all of those big franchises. Rambo, I've got to wrap up Rambo. It's like haunting me. So I've got a lot of franchises I'm going to try and get to because I actually couldn't even tell you what Lord of the Rings or Star Wars is about.
But you'll be able to one day.
But I will be able to. So follow along and get mad at me on Instagram for not having seen. I mean, I've seen chunks, of course, but come on, like hound me about it. I'm very ready for it, and I'm excited to go down that rabbit hole. But thank you so much, Andrew, for having me on. This was so fun.
Yeah,
and
we'll be teaming up again not too long because I think in March we have it penciled in for I'm going to be joining your show finally. I decided I wanted to pick a movie that would be the perfect break from all of the Oscars award season heavy stuff. And so Klarissa kindly let me pick one of my favorite films of all time, 2010's Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. It's going to be my palate cleanser in the midst of all the heaviness of award season. So we're going to have a lot of fun with that one.
It's going to be great.
All right, Heather, you're the new European correspondent over here at the show. You're already working around the clock for me. You're throwing up reviews. You're doing all sorts of stuff.
What else have we got?
Why don't you tell people?
What are we doing, Andrew?
Well, we got a lot of stuff planned. We'll see what actually gets put into motion by the time we get to this. But do you want to like kind of, if you got any guest spots coming up or what you and I kind of have secretly working behind the scenes, let people know.
Yeah, I've got my little list here of things, and you're telling me this is coming out in January. So, I've got a beginning of the year. I have a guest spot with the Greatest Movie of All Time podcast. We're going to be looking at Little Miss Sunshine. Then I have again with them in a couple of months from now, Memento. I will be with Klarissa talking about Zodiac. I think is the next one. We've got to imagine like when this is coming out. Yes. So we have just done Heather's, but we've got Zodiac that's looking out for a while. We've got Zodiac and we've got Robin Hood, right?
Robin Hood too.
Coming up. And then I guess this is coming out, as I said, near the beginning of the year, so it's award season. I'll be in the thick of the Golden Globes, Critics' Choice, BAFTAs, Oscars, and then seeing what actually wins the award in March. Keeping it in March.
I'm gonna be bugging Heather so much to watch all the movies that, because everything releases in different times in Germany versus the US. You'll be seeing stuff that I won't be seeing at that particular time, and vice versa.
Yeah, I am. I have kind of looked to see the last one that I think I will be seeing if I don't see it by other means, shall we say? But officially, the last one that I think will be an Oscar player releasing before the Oscars here is going to be Marty Supreme. So rounding it all out with Timmy, which will be fun.
Excellent.
Nothing divisive about Timmy. Everybody loves him.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
And again, expect to hear a lot more of Heather on the channel. She's going to be doing stuff with me. We're going to be doing like, instead of me talking into the void all the time by myself, we'll be doing some top 10 rankings and some Mount Rushmores of directors and actors, and we're going to be getting into the weeds with all sorts of stuff. So Heather's going to be a nice little
music
team.
Biopics, which we're really excited
about. Yes. So for people who are listening, Heather and I have an idea for a music biopics draft. Instead of going for the worst, we're going to go for instead of the best, we're going to go for the worst. So we're going to see if we can draft the worst possible team in the music biopic genre. So that'll be a fun little...
Any creative categories. We've already got a long list of like creative categories, worst hair, worst lip syncing.
Worst performance.
We'll have some fun with that.
Because you have to have fun with it. Otherwise you cry with the music biopics.
Yes. All right, Adam, the Movie Archer Podcast Network, themoviearcher.com. Everything is just going crazy over at your site and with everything you got going on. Why don't you plug what's going on with you, with the team, with everything? You got a lot going on.
We have a lot going on. Yeah. Happy New Year to everybody. 2026 we hope it proves to be a massive year for us at Movie Archer. We have now officially launched the Movie Archer Podcast Network. That is a collection currently of 3 shows. the one you're listening to right now, the Revisionist Almanac, of course, along with Jen and Sarah over at Movies and Us and at TV and Us. Very excited with the new interview format that we're going to have rolling out. And we're going to have a whole bunch of very exciting guests, films and filmmakers that we're going to represent on those podcasts. In addition to that, very talented writing team working together over at moviearcher.com, contemporary film reviews, contemporary television reviews, a whole bunch more visually on the Archer Vision page, which is also connected at moviearcher.com. This time, by the time everybody's listening to this, we're going to be about knee deep in award season coverage, and that's going to come with a whole bunch of really nice surprises, new special episodes on the podcast network. And so stay tuned. MovieArcher.com has grown into something that we're all very proud to be part of. And it continues to do that because quality matters, and people like Andrew who have joined the team, I think represent it well. And I'm just happy to be a part of it. So thanks so much for having me on. Clarissa, it was nice to finally get to talk to you in person.
Yes.
Not just via social media. And Heather, it is always a pleasure, despite whatever hard feelings you may harbor against me. Please remember, there is always next time while you can get your revenge.
And you're going to see
very nice.
You're going to see a lot more of the Movie Archer staff on camera with me over the next year, because selfishly, I'm going to be plucking some of Adam's wonderful staff writers. Where you've got Dave Hughes over there who does a lot of horror work.
Dave loves the horror. He cannot wait to get on and talk to you.
We're going to do like a every quarter horror specific episodes. We're going to talk about everything that's come out, what's on the way. So we're going to do a lot of stuff. Nico, who does a ton of great work on TikTok and YouTube, he's going to be
Caruso,
joining. Yeah. So a lot of good stuff. Go to moviearcher.com. Check out everybody on the staff over there. Love being a part of the team. I'm so grateful for the opportunity. Thanks for sticking around with us for a couple hours. And again, make sure you vote for whose team you think deserves to win. We'll see you next time.